It's Trader Joe here, and we're on a hump day, so we're at home. Trash people just came, so well, I'll put the recycling bins in and we'll check them out later. We'll give you a shout out, and the stock market reached all-time highs. The thing is, you can't just get greedy. I mean, you know what? Like, let me go back to what I used to do, because I used to not do stock trading. I used to just you know, do the traditional retirement 401k and let them deal with it, you know, putting in money, and then they just buy, you know, I would tell them what mutual funds or, you know, stuff like that I wanted to buy. Percentage wise, I used to do, like, you know, at least 25% over 4, you know, 100, or I'd do 5 mutual funds, 20% each. But my thing is, you never knew when they were buying. They could be buying on the high, and so if, you know, if they were timing it right, then they were buying when everything was low on the dip, and you'd be making more money. But they just, whenever that money hits the account, I believe that's when they just decide that they're going to go ahead and buy more. So it's not really being managed. So you can have, you know, a hands-off approach where you just pick 5 and 20, 30 years, you know, you're with the same thing, or you can adjust it, and every other year, you know, just say, oh, well, this one's not doing good, let me try this other mutual fund. And you could do it that way. So, but now that I got, you know, unemployed, you know, fired, sickness, multiple sclerosis, you know, I had to stop working. I couldn't do my job anymore that I currently had. So I'm like, okay, I got all this money now, let me go ahead and manage it myself. And I could just, you know, wait around and just buy when everything's cheap, and, you know, and let it roll till, you know, 10 years from now. But I want to make more money at it, because this is kind of like, you know, my job. So I want to get ahead and just, you know, when I get, you know, like say 5%, you know, that's a good amount on your money. I sell it off. I don't get greedy and wait. Hopefully the next day it goes up more, and then sell it. You know, when it hits a good amount, I go ahead and sell it. Use that money, and I see, oh, something went down, you know, 5 or 10%. Let me go ahead and rack that, buy that when it's cheap, you know. So I'm just kind of rotating in and out. Some days it's more than others, you know. If the stock market goes up real high, then I have a whole lot of stuff I'm gonna go ahead and sell, and vice versa. If the whole stuff goes down, you know, a whole lot of points, then I have more stuff I can, you know, go and buy. But I'm not affiliated with Charles Schwab or nothing, but I use them. You know, it was my first one, just trying out. They had like a promo. You put $50 in, and they'll give you $50 free. So yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that's all I have. I have a whole lot more, you know. I'm up to like 20,000. If I get more, you know, I could switch it out of my savings. But yeah, I don't want to put myself in too much of a financial, well, you know, even if everything's going good and you can, you know, cash out, but you don't want to be down on your luck and everything's negative, and then you have to sell it for a loss just to transfer it back into your savings account. You can transfer it both ways real easy. I've already tried it when I just had a whole lot of cash sitting in there. You know, they don't, you know, make any interest, so I could switch it back to my regular bank, credit union, and make interest off that money until I need it, and then I transfer it back or whatever. So the whole point of this situation is you gotta just go with the flow. I've been down before plenty of times where I've you know, when you're up real high and you have a good job and everything's going great, but then when you lose your job, or, you know, decide to quit or get fired, and you're in that middle ground where you know, and then refrigerator or appliances go out, AC goes out, you got all these extra bills coming in and no money. Like, well, maybe you get unemployment for, you know, a couple months, but then, you know, you gotta, if you don't have a backup plan or something to you know, you're kind of like, oh, you're down, you're like hit bottom. But that's the time, you know, you can't give up. If you want to reach that success and get high, that's the time when you do it. Yeah, it'd be great if your whole life you was always high and successful and you never had any problems. Yeah, but that's not realistically, you know. It's got its ups and downs. Some are more severe, but the lower you go, the higher the ride up, and you know, you feel like, oh man, and it's happened. I've didn't know, and I've wound up getting a better job and more money, and I just kind of thought, man, what am I going to do? You know, I thought I had a good enough job, and it took something to motivate me, you know, to either quit or get fired, and then I get a better job, more money. Of course, now that's not going to be the situation, so I'm hoping with this YouTube, you know, that I can make some money off of it and get some subscribers. So please like and subscribe, and I'll check you out next time. School's getting out, so I got to get across the street while I can. Thank you.